and welcome to Hollywood Headlines. I'm your host, Paige Davis, and on tonight's episode, we're going to be talking about the latest news in Hollywood. Starting with the first weekend for Coachella, Hollywood Headlines starts now. Before we get into the show, I would like to take a moment to thank Liv Grove for being today's guest. Coachella 2025 was hosted this year from April 11th through the 13th for the first weekend and will return for the second weekend on April 18th through the 20th. Weekend one of Coachella was quite eventful, with people posting all over social media about how unorganized and crazy the car camping situation was, leaving some people stuck in their cars for over 12 hours this year. Coachella changed car camping to a new preferred camping system instead of the first come, first serve it usually is. Camping wasn't the only thing being talked about this year, as artists brought out their A-game performances. Notable performances by Benson Boone, who performed Bohemian Rhapsody with none other than lead guitarist from Queen, Brian May, and Lady Gaga's memorizing performance of her song Judas and Abracadabra. Despite all these iconic performances, the crowd were said to be dead, off, and mannequin-like, giving an overall eerie and off vibe to Coachella this year. Liv, what are your thoughts on the whole camping situation during Coachella?
I feel like they fixed something that wasn't as broken as they thought it was.
Yeah.
I feel like the whole, preferred parking, I think that's stupid, because then they have to go through thousands and thousands of people that are trying to get into Coachella when it normally took 15 minutes to get them in. And now they have to check everyone in, they have to do security, and it's wild. And people were sitting, like I saw a TikTok, and someone was sitting in their car for 12 hours. It was like from 3 to, and it went past like 6 at night. So it was just.
Like 3 in the morning?
Yes.
That's crazy. That's actually insane. Yeah, I was seeing stuff about that, and like people like literally like camping out in their cars. Like somebody had like the back of their car open and just like a tent with like a grill, and I was like, you know what? That would be like fun if you were trying to do it for like a cutie like thing, but like this is Coachella, what? And then there were like influencers in their influencer tent and whatever. But the whole thing is, I also saw something that was like, that said that like 60% of people who bought their tickets at Coachella used a payment plan to buy their tickets.
Yeah.
I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah, because it's so expensive. And like, on top of that, you have to buy food, you have to buy like tents and that kind of stuff. You have to pay for gas, and all of these people's cars were overheating in the heat, and
obviously, yeah, they're in the desert.
Yeah, and there was like a crash and stuff. It was wild, and I think it was just a waste of time.
That sounds terrible. That sounds like that defeats the whole purpose of like the music festival and stuff like that. As somebody who has gone to a few smaller music festivals and stuff like that, that sounds like absolute hell. I mean, obviously, I've never been to something as big as Coachella, but I am going to Lollapalooza this summer. So yes.
Exciting.
Yes, I'm very excited for it. I only got a day pass though, because a four day pass was very expensive. But yeah, so I'm very excited about that. But I've heard it's a lot better. The crowd energy is so much better than it would be at like Coachella, because like I saw the stuff about like everybody like no energy. The crowd is always dead at Coachella. Like what? You have all these amazing artists and like you're dead?
Exactly.
Why? Why should you get the tickets? Give it to us. Lower the prices. Give it to the people who are actually going to be excited about this. The fifth directorial effort of Academy Award-nominated filmmaker Ryan Coogler is officially out in theaters as of April 18th. The film Sinners sees the Creed and Black Panther director reuniting with longtime collaborators, including lead star Michael B. Jordan and an Oscar-winning composer Ludwig Göransson. Set in 1930s Mississippi, the film stars a pair of twins named Smoke and Stack, who return to their hometown only to encounter a supernatural being coming after them and their loved ones. Jordan appears in a dual role as both Smoke and Stack, leading an ensemble cast that features Haley Steinfeld. The film currently has a 98% on Rotten Tomatoes, giving the highest rating for any Coogler film. Liv, are you interested in seeing this film?
So I'm gonna be honest, at first I wasn't, just because it's like not my kind of movie that I would watch. And then I saw all of the interviews with Michael B. Jordan and Haley Steinfeld, and just seeing like their chemistry, especially like on screen, I just that made me want to go see it.
Oh, that's
so,
yeah. I feel like a press tour can really like change somebody's opinion about something.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
And have you seen any of Coogler's any other films?
I've seen Creed. Like, I've seen all of the Creed films. I haven't seen them in such a long time though.
Yeah.
So I don't remember a lot of it.
Yeah, it's due for a rewatch. Surely.
Yeah, and I love Michael B. Jordan, so it
That's
was
so
just
real.
like it was a must-watch for me.
Honestly, yeah. It sounds like it'll be a really interesting film. I definitely would go see it. I'm basically down to see any movie though. So like I'm
Yeah.
also like not like to me anything that's like not terrible is like good to me. I'm like, "Oh, I like that. That was good." So, yeah. And when we come back from the break, we'll be talking about Katy Perry's launch to space. Hollywood Headlines will be right back. Katy Perry and 5 other women briefly launched into space on a Blue Orbit rocket. The 5 other women include the likes of Jeff Bezos' partner, Lauren Sanchez, CBS Morning presenter, Gayle King, former rocket NASA scientist Aisha Bowie, civil rights activist Amanda Wynn, and movie producer Carrie Flynn. The rocket launched from West Texas, with the crew ultimately only spending about 11 minutes in space. This venture marks the first all-female space flight in over 60 years, with the last woman to travel to space being into Russia, Valentina Tereshkov's solo spaceflight in 1963. The most recent launch by Blue Orbit adds to a series of celebrity flights serving as a promotion for what the company hopes will one day become a regular form of commercial space tourism. Liv, what do you think of this short venture into space?
Okay, now hear me out, and this is a very controversial from the people that I've talked to. I think it was a complete waste of time.
Ooh, hot
It was
take.
11 minutes in space for like all of these famous people to go into space and just look at the Earth
Yeah.
and look at the moon.
Like Katy Perry kissing the ground when she got back was like so silly. I was like,
Exactly.
bye, girl, what?
No,
Anyways.
exactly. And I just think that if we were gonna send a whole group of women up into space and we wanted it to be important, send more important people.
And not just random celebrities for fun. Like I
Exactly.
think the NASA scientist and like having like Gayle King, because Gayle King's a journalist, like I think
Yeah.
that's good. But like, why are we having Katy Perry up in space, bro? I
Exactly.
completely agree. And do you think this is going to be like a regular thing that they're going to start sending celebrities into space?
I think they're going to try and say that it's going to be. I don't think it's gonna happen.
I think it'll maybe happen like 1 or 2 other times, but it's not going to be like a regular thing. It'll be
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, we're sending this person to space, and everyone's going to be like, okay, that's a waste of resources. Like, why are we doing this?
Exactly. And it's such an expensive waste of time.
Exactly, just to send someone to space just because. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I fear that's a little bit crazy
Yeah.
in my opinion.
And I
But-
agree.
Yes, yes. Fans of thriller and mystery films won't want to miss 2 new additions to the genre, with The Amateur and Drop released in theaters last weekend. The Amateur stars Rami Malek, decoder character. Charles, who supervises at the CIA, refuses to take action after his wife was killed in a London terrorist attack. Rachel Bronston and Lauren Fishburne also star in the film Drop, which is about a widowed mother's first date in years that takes a terrifying turn when she's bombarded with anonymous threatening messages on her phone, leaving her questioning if her charming date is being the harassment. This film stars Megan Faye and Brendan Skellner. The Amateur opened at number 3 at the box office, while Drop opened at number 5 behind A24's Wayfair, which opened at number 4. Liv, are you interested in seeing any of these films?
So we talked about it before the show.
Yes.
I hadn't heard of any of these until we talked about like the trailer for the one movie,
Yes.
and that's the only reason why I knew what it was.
And that's okay.
Yeah, so I feel like once I like hear more people talking about it, I think then I'll want to go see it, but I
Yes.
don't know if I'd pay to go see it in a movie theater.
No, that's so fair, especially like unless you're going with friends. However, guys, I saw The Amateur, and I really liked it. I was gonna say Rami Malek played in Bohemian Rhapsody. He slayed that role, and honestly, it was so nice like seeing him in like another character, like especially in like an action movie, and I really liked it. I thought the movie was really good. I really liked it. I have it rated as a 4.5 out of 5 on my letterbox. I want to see Drop too. I saw the trailer for that like a while ago, and I was like, ooh, that sounds really
Yeah,
good.
I don't think I've seen the trailer for that. I haven't heard of any of these movies until we talked about it. and
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
oh.
I definitely recommend The Amateur, though. I was going to say, I want to see Drop, so I'll probably go see that at some point or another. Don't know when, but wherever the wind takes me, I suppose. Music festival All Things Go released their highly anticipated 2025 lineup this past Tuesday. The biggest highlight of the lineup drop was the fact that the festival added a 3rd day to its typical 2-day lineup. However, the increase of days means a start time nearly 5 hours later than last year's prior. The headliners for this festival include Noah Kahan and the Marias on Friday, Lucy Dacus and Clairo on Saturday, and Doechii, Kesha, and Joe on closing night. There are many other big alternatives names throughout the 3 days of the festival. However, with times changing and increase in prices, people in the comments of the initial lineup post criticized the festival saying, quote, "This lineup is pretty stacked, but with all love and light, this is not worth $690. And thinking about how I paid $189 for a 2-day pass to see Haim and Charlie XCX," end quote. Liv, what are your thoughts on the lineup?
So from what I'm hearing, the lineup is great.
Oh yeah, it's amazing.
I don't know if it's worth it, just like everyone else is saying in the comments and stuff. I feel like you're paying so much for like a couple artists that you want to go see.
Exactly, especially at day passes. I was looking at day passes because it's at Merriweather Post Pavilion, which is not too far from my house. And I was like, it's like within an hour. So I was like, oh, that's not a bad drive. And then I looked at the prices. I was like, I saw Noah Kahan for $60 last summer, and I was like, and that's who I really wanted to see on that lineup out of all of them. Like, all the other artists are lovely, but I was like, oh, to see Noah Kahan again, that would be amazing. And then I was looking, and it was like $200+. And I was like, I can't do it. I can't do it.
And I feel like, in my opinion, it's only worth it if you are so in love with all of the artists.
Exactly.
I feel like I mean, like you're saying, Noah Kahan, amazing. I would love to go see him. I would love to see him for $60.
Yeah, period. It was lovely. It was amazing.
But just, I wouldn't pay $600 to see all of these artists unless I knew like every single word of their songs.
Yeah, or like at least like some of the artists. You're like, oh my God, like yes, I know that song, blah, 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 blah. That's like the whole thing with that. Last year, the lineup was so good last year, but oh my gosh, it was like impossible to get tickets last year. It was actually so sad. It was a lot easier from what I heard this year. It was just Friday tickets like went really quickly. And that was the day I was looking. I was like, okay, whatever. It's not that big of a deal. I'm not gonna crash out over this again. It was the first article I actually wrote for the Snapper was why I crashed out over this, over not getting tickets for this and how I hate Ticketmaster. So yes, fun times. When we come back from the break, one of our Hollywood Headlines members will share the review on the new Sinners movie. Hollywood Headlines will be right back. Welcome back to Hollywood Headlines. This past week, the highly anticipated Sinners film released in theaters, and one of our Hollywood Headlines members was eager to check it out.
Now, what film am I going to see on Good Friday? Will I see the Jesus movie or vampire movie? I think I know which one I'm doing. Hi everybody, I'm Michael Keehan, and with Hollywood Headlines, and today we're doing a review of Ryan Coogler's Sinners. This film stars Michael B. Jordan, Haley Steinfeld, and has been getting rave reviews as of late. I am going to be seeing this movie for the very first time. I haven't seen a lot of promotional material or trailers or anything like that, so I'm trying to go in as blind as possible. I have seen some stuff, but this is a movie I'm really anticipating. I loved Black Panther Wakanda Forever. I think Coogler has a really unique vision, and because of that, I'm really excited to see how this film goes. So let's go in and see. I am seeing this in an IMAX theater because this was, in fact, filmed in IMAX. Like, this isn't just like a movie you can see in IMAX. It's a real IMAX film. And yeah, so I'm here at Real Cinemas Lancaster, and look at that screen. Look at that. There is nobody in the audience, though. I believe we're about like 20 minutes to the movie starting. But you know, the movie hasn't getting a lot of great marketing, though, so I wouldn't be surprised if there's like nobody in the theater, but hey, I mean, it's got pretty much the theater to myself, and wow, this is going to be a really great experience, just both because of the film itself and just this, love the theater either, or oh my God, what am I even saying? Oh well, I will catch you back outside once this movie ends. Got out of the bathroom after getting out to see Sinners, and I have to say, first impressions, that was absolutely incredible. first thing first, love the music. I did not expect this movie to be so just so energetic, and like it's of course very gory, but oh my god, it gets you excited. And well, the story's incredible. Every shot is just perfect. The performances were great. Michael B. Jordan, obviously, and also thought the villain, played by Jack O'Connell. I won't spoil who he is, but it was so good. I'm gonna think this over, and I will come back to you with my further thoughts about now. So these are my further thoughts on the film. I've had a bit of time to think it over, and this is what I think. Story, absolutely incredible. It combines the troubles of the Jim Crow South with a really gripping reinterpretation of the vampire mythos. I think what Coogler did with that was incredible. His direction was great too. Screenplay, every single line hits. Like, there is no moment of downplay. There are some odd moments with like the sexual tension. So yeah, this is definitely not a movie you're gonna want to see with your parents. I'll say that for sure. As I mentioned before, music is really important in this film. There's one scene in particular, I'd say it's around like the middle of the scene, where like they just go full like just abstract, and honestly it's absolutely incredible. Honestly, it could be a film on its own, and I really appreciate how this film balances both the period piece and the horror aspects, and a lot of that has to do with the performances too. Michael B. Jordan, Jack O'Connell, I mentioned them. Haley Steinfeld's great too. Dale Verlindo. One person I gotta give credit to is Miles Canton, who is a new actor who played the character of Sammy, and he did great. There's also a pretty notable person that in like the blues world that appear in this movie. I won't spoil it, but again, you're really gonna want to see this movie for yourself. It's absolutely incredible. I give it like, frankly, 10 out of 10. Maybe like a high 9, but you're gonna want to see it. So yeah, thanks for having me here. We'll turn it back to Hollywood.
Well, that's all we have for tonight's episode, but make sure to come back next week for the latest news in Hollywood. A big thank you for Liv Grove to coming on today's show. I'm Paige Davis. Have a great weekend, Millersville.